Good morning, Darla and Steve. I was on Facebook talking to Steve, and the time went right past the hour. So I was just checking in with Steve, and here he is right here. Could have checked with him right here to see how his brother-in-law is doing. So, yeah, the rooms were down just before the call. So I suspect that some of our guests are having a problem with the room. It took a long time to load for me once it loaded, and but here we are. Hey, Darla, Steve, how's everyone doing today? Having a great day. It is Wednesday. I'm feeling a little kerfluffled. Things are out of sync this morning, and it's okay. It's okay. I'm just out of my routine, and when I'm out of my routine, I have to take more breaks. I have to take more breaths. I have to just relax more and just go with the flow. And I have to keep an eye on the clock. Well, the room was under maintenance this morning, so I tried to come in here at about just before quarter to the hour, and I went to the GVO conference site was down, everything was down. GVO was up, so I put in a live ticket, and they said it was just unscheduled maintenance and that the rooms would be up within the hour. And I thought, well, that doesn't really help me. And here it is. We made it up, so that's pretty cool, isn't it? Mm-hmm. I've just been looking through the book, You Can Heal Your Life with Louise Hay. Wonderful book. Really reminds me that we are in control of everything we're doing here, and that, I mean, just because the rooms weren't working doesn't need to affect my day, doesn't need to affect my mood, doesn't need to anything. I mean, if we couldn't have the call, we couldn't have the call, right? That would have just been a fact, and I would have just done something else during that time. Oh, there's my Skype coming back up. Takes forever for my Skype to load. I had to reboot my computer to get into the room. Dawn was able to get in okay, but I was not. So I was just looking through the book, You Can Heal Your Life. Now, I have a special collection from Louise Hay. It's a hardcover book, the Essential Louise Hay Connection collection, and it has You Can Heal Your Life, Heal Your Body, and The Power is Within You. We read The Power is Within You on the call. Pretty powerful reading. You Can Heal Your Life is the first book I read when I was going through a healing process many years ago. And I remember how it changed my life then. Hi, Lynn. Were you having some troubles getting in the room today? Because I know I sure did. They were down earlier. Just reading in chapter 1, she talks about what I believe. So this was my first introduction into all of this. And when I look back on it now, I'm thinking, back then, I know that I didn't get out of this book what I get out of it now just by looking at the title. I look at the title. Life is really very simple. What we give out, we get back. Pretty simple, but that means so much more to me now than it ever meant in the past. Life is really very simple. What we give out, we get back. So we can think that people are out to get us, that I'm always sick, life sucks, or we can think that everyone is always helpful. Life is good. You're on a great journey. Whatever journey you're experiencing right now is the journey you chose to experience. So don't ask why. Just live through it. Live the experience. Hey, Fern. The universe totally supports us in every thought we choose to think and believe. It accepts whatever we choose to believe. Didn't get that years ago either. The universe supports us in every thought that we choose to think and believe. Darla says, I had a dream just before waking yesterday of pouring milk in a bowl and knew it was overflowing but couldn't stop. And then, like a light bulb, was Don't cry over spilled milk. And I woke up, oh, that's hilarious. Wow. And you could actually see the milk pouring over the bowl, and there was nothing you could do about it. It was just like, yeah. The universe supports us in every thought that we choose to think and believe. The universal power never judges or criticizes. Although humans always do, don't we? We always have judgments of some sort. And we are always criticizing. We're getting better at it, yes, all of us. We're all getting better at it. Yes, put your hand up if you're getting better at not criticizing, at not judging, being non-judgmental. Number one in the mindfulness attitude. Most of us have foolish ideas about who we are and many, many rigid rules about how life ought to be lived. Yes, I remember back in 1999 when those rules really got the best of me. And I gave them all up. And I never looked back. When we are very little, we learn how to feel about ourselves and about life by the reactions of the adults around us. It's not your fault. You are where you are because of the experiences you had when you were young. Now, take a little step further. You chose to come and have those experiences. And at the end of the day, you are where you are, and it's okay, right? When we grow up, we have a tendency to recreate the emotional environment of our early home life. Oh, goodness gracious. I am so grateful to have reached this age, to have lived as long as I have. In my family, that's quite an event. I feel very good and positive about my life, that I'm going to have a much longer, healthier life. I feel good about that. I know that. And I'm excited about it. Because when I look back, I can see firsthand how I recreated the emotional environment that I grew up in. And then I was able to see how my daughter did the same thing. And thankfully, because of Wednesday lunches, all of that has changed. And it's amazing when you choose to think and believe something different happens. However, I would not blame our parents for this. That's a big one, isn't it? Parents, adults, we are all victims of it. Whoops. Sorry, that page went flying. We are all victims of victims, and they could not possibly have taught us anything they did not know. I believe that we choose our parents. I believe that too. I believe we chose to come here and have this experience. I don't know why. I certainly don't know why I chose the experience I did. However, it has brought me where I am. It's made me who I am. It's caused me to do some very interesting things in my life, and I have no regrets. The point of power is always in the present moment. Oh, we know that, don't we? Power of now, mindfulness. The point of power is always now. The only thing we are ever dealing with is a thought, and the thought can be changed. The only thing we are ever dealing with is a thought, and the thought can be changed. So if you're feeling like crap, if you're feeling emotional, if you're feeling angry, upset, hurt, anywhere down that emotional scale that's not happy, remember, you feel that way because of thoughts that are going around in your head. So change what you're thinking about. A thought can be changed. And believe it or not, we do choose our thoughts. Some people say, well, I can't help it. Anybody know people like that? I have a friend who really still does not understand the fact that we choose our experiences, that our experiences are a reflection of our thoughts. And her response is always, I didn't choose this and I didn't choose that. And I thought, no, but you kept thinking about how bad it was. And that just kept attracting more. They don't get that. They don't get that. We do choose our thoughts. The innermost belief for everyone I have worked with is always, I'm not good enough. I'm pretty sure all of us here don't feel that way anymore. And I'm pretty sure all of us have felt that way at some point. I'm not good enough. I mustn't be good enough. I find that resentment, criticism, guilt, and fear cause more problems than anything else. Oh. Resentment, criticism, guilt, big one, and fear. Why do you think we work so hard to get rid of those? We can change our attitude toward the past. To release the past, we must be willing to forgive everyone and everything. Remember, it isn't their fault. We are all victims of victims. We came here from an existence, from an experience. We came here for an experience. And everyone has come here at a different time. All dis-ease comes from a state of unforgiveness. And I love how she spells disease. She spells it D-I-S--E-A-S-E. Because that's exactly what disease is your body is in dis-ease. Anyone who is suffering from illness is suffering from dis-ease. We need to forgive. All disease comes from a state of unforgiveness. Whenever we are ill, we need to look around to see who it is that we need to forgive. We need to let go of most. Forgiveness means giving up, letting go. It has nothing to do with condoning behavior. It's just letting the whole thing go. We do not know how to forgive. All we need to do is be willing to forgive. The universe will take care of the how. And I love this ending to this paragraph. In the infinity of life where I am, all is perfect, whole, and complete. I believe in a power far greater than I am that flows through me every moment of every day. I open myself to the wisdom within, knowing that there is only one intelligence in this universe. Out of this one intelligence comes all the answers, all the solutions, all the healings, all the new creations. I trust this power and intelligence, knowing that whatever I need to know is revealed to me, and that whatever I need comes to me in the right time, space, and sequence. All is well in my world. Wow. All is well in my world. I trust this power and intelligence, knowing that whatever I need to know is revealed to me, and that whatever I need comes to me in the right time, space, and sequence. How powerful is that? How do you feel? Pardon me. How do you feel about the statement that all disease comes from a state of unforgiveness? I'm really curious about how you feel about that. That's a pretty broad statement, isn't it? All illness, everything you have that's wrong with your body is coming because there's someone that you need to forgive. There's something you need to forgive. It could be yourself. Forgiveness is the answer to everything. Hey, Claudia. All dis-ease comes from a state of unforgiveness. All negativity, all everything. If we can learn to forgive, and I love this, that we don't need to have to know how to forgive. Do you guys, you can't see that, Lynn? Okay. Maybe you've never experienced anything you need to forgive. Maybe you don't have dis-ease. I can see it. Sometimes it may be subtle. It all has to do with judgments. It all has to do with criticisms, resentments, fears. They're all about forgiveness. You're very lucky then. Can you appreciate them, Lynn, because you're not the only person in the world, and I know that you are not the only person around you. Can you appreciate that other people's illnesses, that their disease comes from a state of unforgiveness? We have to remember when it comes to our parents, and I love this one right here that we're going through, just talking a bit about the book, You Can Heal Your Life. And the biggest one here was, where'd it go? Okay, come on. We are victims. However, I choose not to blame our parents. When we grew up, we have a tendency to recreate the emotional environment of our early home life. However, I would not blame our parents for this. We recreate the experience we had. Blame game. For a lot of years, I blamed my ex for a lot of things. I didn't ever blame my parents. For some reason, I understood that they came from where they came. I never had that blame or that hatred or any of that towards any of the people that were involved in any abuse I suffered as a child. But I blamed my husband, my ex-husband. I had a lot of blame there. And it's a very difficult thing to let that go, to forgive. It's really difficult to forgive. And it's really not about, and I love that statement there, that you don't need to know how to forgive. You just need to be willing. The universe will take care of the rest. You just need to be willing to let it all go, for heaven's sakes. Let that crap go. Quit talking about it. Yes, it molded you into the person you are today. Okay? But the person you are today is going to mold you into the person you want to be tomorrow. So if you keep thinking about what brought you here, it isn't going to take you forward. We need to tell a different story. We've talked about that before. We need to tell a different story about the life we lived and how we got here. My God, I chose this. I chose to experience all the stuff I experienced as a child. I chose that. I chose to come here and have those experiences so I could be the person I am. There you go. Yes, if you wanted to blame the people that bullied you when you were young. And I was bullied a lot when I was young. I had a very difficult childhood. In the eyes of society, I had a very difficult childhood. And yet, when I speak to my friend that I've known since I was 5 years old, she remembers a very happy child. Right? And I asked her, I said, what did you see in me? I was always a happy child. I did never let any of that into my present world. It affected me. I had other issues that were affecting me the whole way. And until I actually let all that go, it affected me. And there are days when it affects me still. Forgiveness is a big one. The biggest person I need to forgive is me. We need to forgive ourselves for things, for our shortcomings, for things that, when we get it wrong, when we think wrong, whatever wrong means. Remember, that's just a judgment. Even all this stuff we're reading, unless it resonates with us and we recognize that, oh, you know what, that feels better. It feels better to think that way. It doesn't feel good to think that way. I think that's right. Then great. But just because somebody says something doesn't necessarily mean it's true for you. And I think that at the end of the day, that's the biggest question we need to ask ourselves. When something happens, when someone does something, or when you do something, the question to ask, is it true? Is this truly how I feel? Or is this just a reaction to something that isn't true? When I was in grade 5, we had at the schoolyard, we had a big stretch of ice that we used to, we made the ice and we'd slide on it. We'd take turns getting on there and sliding. And my friend pushed me and I fell flat in my face and broke my front teeth. Snapped them right off, 2 front teeth, gone. Grade 5, 10 years old. Went to the dentist and they put temporary crowns on my teeth. I think I had those until grade 7. For 2 years, I had these silver crowns with white in the front. They were horrible. I hated smiling. I hated life. Can you imagine being a young girl going through puberty, really not being able to smile? And yet I was always a happy child. And I remember when I got my new teeth, and they were ugly as sin, but they were white. That's really all that it mattered. And back in that day, technology was not as it was. And I spent a lot of years with not the nicest teeth. But I still smiled. I was always a happy kid. Yeah, pizza face. Children are cruel. Children are cruel. Today, we're more aware of bullying. We make our children aware of bullying so that they don't allow it, so they let us know when others are bullying them. We teach them to be strong. We teach them it isn't true. There's shows on TV that deal with bullying. It's just, back in our day, bullying was accepted. Nobody really dealt with it. No one really understood the long-term effects of bullying. And there are some very long-term effects. Called slow motion. I love it. But children are cruel, and it is what it is, and we need to forgive them because they know not what they do. That's what that lad is about. Forgive them, for they know not what they do. We all came here with this blueprint. We all came here having an experience, and whatever we experienced created thoughts. And what's really cool is that once you know something, you can't unknow it, and now you know the truth. Now you know the truth. I was never that active athletically in school, but ask Dawn. I mean, my children are always surprised. Like, my children are all very athletic, and they always wonder where they get it from, because neither of their parents their father was certainly not athletic at all. I'm pretty athletic. I can pick up a basketball and that ball will go in the hoop more than it doesn't. I think Dawn was a little surprised the other day playing basketball. I'm not all that coordinated, but I can shoot baskets. I can do things. I can play ball. I can do things. I was shy as a young kid, and yet I was a shy extrovert. We're almost at the bottom of the hour. What would you guys like to meditate to today? Remember, you were once wild here. Don't let them tame you. And I think that's what happened when we were young. People tried to tame us. Society tries to tame us, to control us. And so then we don't think for ourselves. And I think it's really important that we learn to think for ourselves. Relationships sound good to me. What I want you to focus on today as we do our meditation is the relationship you have with yourself. Because until you have an amazing relationship with yourself, it is very difficult for you to have a relationship with anyone. And so you need to get inside and be true to you. Relationships. Where are you, Abraham? There we are. Just need to grab the link. All right, you guys know the drill with Abraham. At the last 3 minutes, I really want you guys to go deep down inside and be very, very present for those 3 minutes. Think happy thoughts. Be wild. Be free. We'll see you back here in 15 minutes.
Welcome. We are extremely pleased that you are here. It is nice to have this opportunity to visit about relationships. Breathe in. Breathe out. There is no subject of greater significance to you than relationships, for without others you could not be you. Breathe in. Breathe out. The others with whom you share your planet are of tremendous value to you, even when you want different things. Your Earth environment is large enough to accommodate all of the variety of interests, beliefs, and desires. Breathe in. Breathe out. Your differences are of great advantage in the stimulation of new ideas and are important to your expansion. Breathe in. Breathe out. You came here eagerly anticipating the expansion that would be born from your interaction with others. Breathe in. Breathe out. When you understand the value of differing opinions, you will reap immediate value from every relationship. And since you cannot make them change to please you, appreciating them where they are will give you ease. Breathe in. Breathe out. Sometimes it seems like others have the power to negatively affect your experience, but that is never true. Breathe in. Breathe out. Only your response to them has the power to pinch you off from the naturally good-feeling person you are. Breathe in. Breathe out. Sometimes others believe that their happiness depends upon your response to them, but that is never true. If you encourage them to believe that and stand on your head to please them, you don't help them or you. Breathe in. Breathe out. When you expect another to succeed without the benefit of your help, you see them as their source sees them. Breathe in. Breathe out. When you believe another needs your help and you shore up their weakness with your strength, you help them not. Breathe in. Breathe out. When you look for another's strengths, even when they are hard to find, your attention to them amplifies them. And in time, because of the spotlight you have shined, those strengths will become apparent to others as well. Breathe in. Breathe out. When others lash out at you in anger with words or action, their battle is not with you, but with themselves. Breathe in. Breathe out. If you do not take their behavior personally, understanding it is their personal battle, in time they'll leave you out of it. Breathe in. Breathe out. Sometimes you think it is important what others think of you, and so you work to extract approval from them. There is really little that you can do to keep their approval coming, for it is never about you, but about them. Breathe in. Breathe out. If you will release all concern about how others feel about you and focus only upon how you feel about them, you will unearth your core understanding of who you really are, and you will discover what true freedom really is. Breathe in. Breathe out. At your core, you are more alike than different, for you share a common thread of source and love and expansion. If you feel threatened by another, that threat is not real, for only you can stop the flow of your natural well-being. Breathe in. Breathe out. As you insist on looking for positive aspects in others, in time, only positive aspects can be shown to you. For you will have incrementally adjusted your vibrational point of attraction, and by law, that must be so. Breathe in. Breathe out. It is certain that you can find the relationships that you desire, but first, there is something very important that you must do. You must become a vibrational match to the qualities that you seek, because what comes to you always matches you. Breathe in. Breathe out. Focus on the best you can in others, and when characteristics you want are missing, practice seeing them anyway. When you practice the thoughts of the things that you desire, they must show up in your experience. It is law. Breathe in. Breathe out. You are doing extremely well. The relationships that you seek are flowing to you. Relax and enjoy the unfolding. Feel appreciation for what is and eagerness for what is coming. There is great love here for you. Breathe in. For the next few minutes, letting the music guide you. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. there is great love here for you. And as always, we remain in the vortex.
Carl says, I can focus and know that I need improving as relationships are hard for me with some people. Some love me, some don't. And that really doesn't matter, does it, Carl? It's not about them. I mean, it's not about you. How they feel about you has nothing to do with you. And what you see from them is a reflection of what you think you're seeing. So you just have to change that reflection. Keep doing your visualizations. I trust you are, Carl. Twice a day or more. What happened to my affirmation? Oh, I put this up instead because I have the affirmation as well. But this Abraham quote came to me today, and I thought how appropriate for everything we're doing. You're not ever going to get it done. So stop trying to get it all done. Every time you evaluate, contrast, and conclude, and then line up your energy and allow it into your experience, at the same time you are achieving the result that you intended. You also achieve a new perspective from which to intend. You can't sit still. In every moment, there's a whole new set of stuff. New ideas, new desires are being born, and it's okay. And I have to remind myself on a regular basis I'm never going to get it all done, and I need to just stay focused. It's really easy to let our minds go off in a million directions. Anybody ever have that challenge? When, I mean, there's times when I say yes one too many times, and then I feel overwhelmed, and everything seems to start crumbling down on me, and I can't get anything done. I feel almost suffocated. I don't get that way so much anymore, because when I get there, I just recognize, just take a breath. Number one, I get myself back into energy alignment. Okay, I get myself back into energy alignment. And then I get myself back focused on what I'm doing. If I need to, I get my pen out, I make a list of what I need to get done, and I make sure I get it done. And that's really all there is to it. And I don't worry, because I know that if I've said yes, it's because it's okay, right? I am where I am, because it's okay. I create peacefulness in my mind, and my body reflects this peacefulness as perfect health. Now, I'm looking around the room, and I'm guessing that we are all over the age of 50. Are we? Are we all over the age of 50? Okay, distractions don't happen, Carl, ever. Distractions do not happen. Ever. Steve's 12, going on 50. So we're all over 50. Some of us older. And there's something that can happen when you get over 50, you know, depending on the life you've led, chances are you're starting to get some aches and pains. You know, the body's not working like it used to. Well, my body certainly doesn't work like it used to, although for the most part, it works pretty darn good. I'm pretty impressed with my little body. And, you know, I broke my ankle one year, and that was a tough recovery. That's the only injury I've really ever had. I hurt my back. That is a nasty injury. That one I am aware of regularly because I feel my body, and yet it's rare that it's an issue anymore, because when it becomes an issue, I think my way out of it is really quite amazing. But the truth is that as we get older, our bodies do start to go downhill, and so it's up to us to keep our body healthy. So we have to do two things. We need to think better all the time. We need to talk to ourselves better. We need to talk about other people better. We need to stop focusing on what's negative in the world. We need to stop all that crap. And we need to start feeling better. We need to start getting that vibration feeling better. We need to talk better. We need to feel better. We need to feed our bodies. We need to feed our minds and our energy. We need to think ourselves happy. And then we need to feed our bodies proper food. It's all right to eat junk food once in a while, but the truth of the matter is there's only one person in control of your physical health and that physical vessel that you decided to come to Earth and be a part of. And so be a part of it. Be a part of this physical vessel. Make it healthy and think it healthy. Now, I'm going to say something that's profound, and that is that the thinking part of it is the most important part. You do need to do your best to keep your body healthy. Don't abuse it. I mean, it's, you know, we live in a very abusive society. It's hard not to abuse these poor bodies because everything that we enjoy isn't good for us. So you have to counteract that with exercise, with movement, with good thinking, seriously, and some good healthy feeding to our bodies. I create peacefulness in my mind, and my body reflects this peacefulness, this perfect health. Trust me, when you begin thinking the way that serves you, you will start putting in your body better things. Carl says, this has been rejuvenating to me being here daily. Have had trouble accepting my physical disability, so I focus on empowering my body through meditation. And at the moment, Carl, you have a physical disability. It is what it is. Okay, so what this is all about is just saying, it is what it is. This is where I am right now. Cool. I'm kind of done with this now, though. This has been an interesting experience, but I'm kind of done with this experience, so we're just going to turn this around. And you're going to keep visualizing every day that man getting up, running and playing basketball, I think you were doing. I'm not sure what you were doing, but you're going to do it. It can be boring to sit around in your chair feeling sorry for yourself all day, thinking of all those people who have advice for you that you don't want to listen to. That's really boring. Boring is a choice. You choose how you think, you choose what you do, you choose the actions you take. Does it feel good or not? People play baseball in wheelchairs. Hey, people do a lot of things in wheelchairs. I saw somebody scuba diving in a wheelchair, for heaven's sakes. There are no limitations because of a disability, and if you think you've had limitations in the past, you have to let it go. Okay, you have to let it go. The mind, you have your mind. As long as you have your mind, you can change everything. There is no bad. There isn't any bad. There are just experiences. The bad is how you respond. If negative comes into your house, you don't have to have it. You can stand up for yourself and say, hey, I really appreciate the advice. You know what, Carl, have you ever thought of saying to them, thank you. I really appreciate everything you have to say. Thank you. That's all. You don't have to say, yes, I'll follow your advice, or no, I'm not going to ever follow your advice. I think you're a flaming idiot. Just look at them and say, oh, thank you so much, and mean it, Carl. Because let me tell you something, whatever other people are saying, they think they have your best interest at heart, right? In their screwed up way, they think that what they're saying is best for you. Am I right? So thank them for caring so much about you. Say, I love you so much for caring so much about me. Thank you. And when they say, are you going to take my advice? Say, I really appreciate your advice, and I'll certainly consider it. That's all you have to do. And then you ask yourself, is what they're saying true? Really take the emotion out of it when they're gone. But when they're there, Carl, turn the tables. If they're talking about something that's not you, but they're complaining about the neighbor, or they're complaining about Sally, or they're complaining about Fred, you know what you say? Wouldn't it be nice if Fred did this? And wouldn't it be nice if this? It will certainly change the tone of the conversation if you, instead of getting all your grumpy pissy pants, because the family's here getting all caring in their own way, you're going to say, oh my God, I just want you guys to know I appreciate you so much. And mean it, Carl. Mean it. I want you right now to get so excited for their next visit. I want you to be in a state of you can't even wait until that doorbell rings or that phone rings. You can't wait for them to give you advice. How exciting is that? Does it mean that they're going to stop giving you advice? No. They might give you more. Does it mean you need to change anything? No. Keep telling them how much you appreciate them and love them for caring so much. They're going to see you change. Yeah. Instead of you saying, oh God, here they come again. Do you feel different even thinking that way, Carl? It might be a little bit of a stretch, but play the game. Seriously, what's the worst thing that can happen? What's the worst thing that can happen? Try it. Visualize it first, Carl, okay? But when they get there, whatever it is they're saying, I don't know the situation, okay? I just know that you don't like the situation. They're all negative. So whenever they're talking negative, I'm sure that they're just full of advice. They got the best advice in the world, and you just tell them how much you really appreciate them for caring so much. That's why some people don't have people who care. And you know what? Some of us don't realize that the people who have all this negative advice, really, they do care. We just don't have to take their advice. We don't have to take their advice. But we can appreciate it, right? We can appreciate it. Yeah. Imagine that somebody telling them how much they appreciate them and give them a hug. Give them a hug. Say, come here, I need to give you a hug. I just thank you so much for caring so much. I think you're amazing. Now don't go overboard because they're going to think you're nuts. But go overboard. Do it. People always need to hear how much they're appreciated. And at first, they may not really know how to respond because it might seem foreign to them. And that's okay. That's okay because it's not about them. Remember, Carl? This is about you feeling better. And what feels better, Carl? Does it feel better to sit there worrying about their next visit, getting all wound up when they do visit, and then having to spend the rest of the afternoon getting unwound from their visit? And if it doesn't change them, it doesn't matter. Remember, Carl, this is about changing who? Which feels better? This is about changing you. Just remember that, okay? Just remember that whatever comes out of their mouths, you're so appreciative. That's right. Yeah, and it doesn't, you can't weigh it, okay? You can't go out there looking for it. Don't look for the improvement. Well, I mean, no, let me get that wrong. Look for the improvement. Know that it's going to happen. And it may only happen subtly, Carl. All right, so you have to be aware of that. It may only be subtle, but you need to be aware of those subtleties because they will happen. Everybody responds to gratitude, to appreciation. I know you do, right? You can empower them by being empowered, Carl. Don't force yourself on them. Simply love them, no matter what. Simply love them. Okay? Oh, I've never had anybody ever accuse me of being fake. Ever. People wonder why I'm happy all the time. They do ask me, why are you so happy? Yeah, but see, I don't have those people in my life, I guess. So it's because they have no idea how to be that happy. They have no idea how to be that happy. So this, I'm not sure whether it was Lynn or Carl, but one of you, this song is for you. Make it a good day, everybody. I'm going to wrap this up a little early. I've got another call coming up, so I want to get off to that. You guys are awesome. See you tomorrow. Make this such an amazing day because remember, you are amazing. I love you all. See you tomorrow.